guys, it's Cindy Leach, your polymer clay tutor, and today's studio tip is avoiding fingerprints on your polymer clay. Now, one big problem that can be that can happen to make your polymer clay pieces look a little bit less professional is if you leave your fingerprints all over them. I mean, there are the odd designs where you might want them there, but in most cases, especially on the smooth finishes, you want it to be flawless. Now, there are a few things that can cause fingerprints to come easily. One is if your clay is really soft and squishy. They will leave a fingerprint a lot easier than if your clay is firm. So some of the firmer brands are better. Kato Polyclay is really firm, and so it doesn't show fingerprints as much. Then we've got Fimo Classic, and then Premo, and then others that are much softer than that. But I use Premo, so I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. Now, my fingerprints, I mean, I've got the kind of fingerprints that really show on everything. I wouldn't make a very good criminal. They show so easily. And I don't know if they're going to show here on camera or not. On black clay, they usually show pretty good. Do they show, Doug? A little bit? Good. Now, there are a few things to avoid it. Like I said, that using a firmer clay helps. You can also pop it into the fridge. That will also help. But, you know, my fridge isn't anywhere near my studio, so I don't bother with any of those things. The things that I like to do is to try to, you know, sanding them off is a lot of work, so I like to make sure that the piece is as flawless as possible before I put it even into the oven. And there are a few things you can do. One is you can use something like cornstarch on your fingertips, and when you're it kind of fills in the gaps on your fingerprints, and then when you're working with the piece, it will keep from getting as fingerprinty. You can also use your cornstarch fingers to kind of erase the fingerprints. I only like to use cornstarch if the piece is going to end up with kind of a frosted look. Though it will wash off, there's not a big worry about that. But on other pieces like these little pieces here, I'm working on a faux burl wood technique, and I really want it to be shiny and glossy in the end, and I don't want to have to sand away too much of the finish. So what I'd like to do is you can use water, which is a great way to do it, and you can just spray a little bit of water onto the surface and rub it. And that will actually really help to remove the fingerprints or any kind of little fingernail prints or marks like that. Another place to use is the side of your hand. There's way less fingerprint or any lines in your hand there, and using that part on the surface really works well to smooth it off. Keep an eye out for things like when you've stuck them down to surfaces on the back side. You can get quite a few of these kind of divots and flaws and things like that. So a little spritz with water, and using the palm of your hand can work really beautifully for that. Also, if you lay it down on a piece of paper, that surface is nice and smooth, and then you can smooth out the surface best you can. Now, you're still, in these cases, I'd still be sanding it, but I just like to prefer not to have to remove that much clay, so removing as much as I can from the surface first is a really great way of doing it. Now, you could wear latex gloves. I have a kind of, I mean, I don't have an allergy to latex or anything, but my hands get super sweaty in there, and I find that it's just not comfortable for me to wear gloves for any length of time. So I prefer to just do it by hand and wipe off the best I can before I bake it. If the bead is on a skewer, let's pretend I'd actually worked harder on this bead. I usually will just rub it around the edge of my finger and on my hand and erase any flaws or things like that with that way. So I hope that was helpful for you. My question for you today is, what do you do about fingerprints? And if you've got any special tricks or tips, that would be great. You could leave those in the comments below. And If you like this and it was helpful for you, make sure to press that like button. That would be great. We will see you at another time and another place. Bye for now.